어쩜 이렇게 시간이 안 가는지 정말 버스 안에서 고인 이불 속에서 고인 고인은 언제나 너에게 고인.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I want to introduce myself. My name is Fatma Bulandari with name 2221010600015. I am from TBI2. And now I am very excited because I just watched an amazing YouTube podcast. I would like to share my interesting experience and some important point that I got from this podcast. So I found a really interesting podcast on YouTube, which is this one mindset change will make you successful learner. And here is the YouTube podcast link. I watched this podcast from Real Life English YouTube channel. The podcast discussed in the conversation was on the topic of growth mindset. The speaker discussed how a change in mindset from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset can help one become a successful learner. They discussed the importance of believing that one's abilities and skills are not fixed and limited, but can grow if one is committed to learning. They also discussed the importance of celebrating small wins in the language learning process, which can help to confidence. I choose this podcast because the videos are short and the podcast provides a lot of practical tips and guidance on how to develop a growth mindset in English language learning. The speaker in this podcast gives examples of their personal experience in learning a foreign language and how they manage to overcome obstacles. Now let's talk about how this content relates to my daily life. As someone who is constantly learning and striving to get better, adopting a growth mindset resonates with me. Whether it's language learning or any other aspect of life, learning to believe that our abilities are not fixed and limited, but can evolve with a commitment to learning is a small change that can make a big difference in how I overcome obstacles and boost my confidence. Listening to podcasts on growth mindset can significantly contribute to extensive listening, a valuable language learning practice. Because in the podcast is diverse vocabulary exposure and authentic language use, improve pronunciation and intonation, and we can learn English very well. The problem faced when listening to this podcast are the first is difficult to understand accent, the second is lack of vocabulary, the third is difficultly understand specialist term or topic, the fourth is environmental disturbance, and my strategy is listening repeatedly and using transcript for support and choosing a comfortable